Got it, man. Handle it. How's everybody?
Everybody's good, Justin. We
Great.
we appreciate you being on this call. We're kind of doing our rounds with all the consultant promotions that happened in Dallas. We're like, hey, let's get these guys on a call real quick. Let's pick their brain while it's all fresh. And so obviously you were the man of the hour in Dallas. One of the men of the hour, I guess, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's what they say.
That's what they
That's what they say.
And shortly after you went to Belize,
Yep, we flew from Dallas straight to Belize.
right to
That's
Belize. What were you doing there?
right. Myself and Cooper and Cole and Vera have bought a house over there in Cape Cocker. So we're going over there to close on it.
Very nice. Closing on property.
Yep, that's right.
Beautiful.
That's
Well,
right.
a nice little slice of paradise gives you a good excuse to go see Children's Liberty Home, go visit the kids and then take a nice little R&R vacation to probably some little island or where's the property you bought?
Yeah, it's it's a small island. Probably 8 miles long and a mile wide. Um, 30 miles off the coast of Belize City. There's a strip of islands out there. It's
Hmm.
called Key Caulker.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And how'd you guys decide who gets it when? You draw straws?
I don't think we're going to be fighting over it. We'll just go whenever. My father-in-law wants to be there for a couple weeks in January. I don't think any of us want to go and argue that.
Okay.
And I think most of like me and Cooper and Cole will probably go together when we go,
Yeah.
unless we take our families or whatever. But yeah, we hadn't really ironed out the details. I don't think anybody's too worried about it.
Yeah. Got to figure out when the whale sharks are there. That's got to be something to see.
Is that a big thing over there? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I was I dove with nurse sharks, one of the highlights of my life, like terrifying, like the guy's throwing all this blood in the water and it's like, oh my goodness, and you see sharks swimming around you. So I got to do that, which was unbelievable. And then I'm like, well, take me to the whale sharks. And apparently it's a little bit of a boat ride. It's like 2 hours away or something like that. But I think that's one of their most popular things that they do.
Cool. I've dove over there a few times now, but just more on the reefs and the blue hole, but hadn't done anything
Yeah.
crazy like that. So
Cool. Well, Justin, I want to kind of pick your brain on, I'm going to kind of tell a little story and then get you to unpack it. But where I'm going with this is I'm curious to know your routines, your rituals, like how you roll. I think some people may get the wrong impression because, oh, well, Justin, he's traveling right after NatCon, he's going to Belize. Like, so but I mean, my impression of you when I first started getting to know you is like, hey, Justin Hageman he is a worker. This guy has an impeccable work ethic. In fact, when we were on or rolling out Salesforce, you were one of the names that kept coming up. Like, dude, if you want to learn Salesforce, you get with Justin Hageman. This dude is up till 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, geeking out, getting nerdy, really trying to figure out how to use this tool to drive his office. And so I'm just curious, when you're on the mainland, when you're not in Belize, what kind of schedule do you have? What are your routines? What are your rituals?
yeah, we have great internet at the house too, so it doesn't stop in Belize either. Um, yeah, so I guess my life is probably a little bit different than a lot of people. My wife lives in Kentucky, about an hour and a half from here. We have a house up there, and then I have a condo in Nashville. So typical week for me, I kind of start thinking about my next week on Thursdays, and I'll plan out my one-on-ones and my nightly dinners or meetings with my guys when I'm in town. Because I'm different. I mean, when I'm in Nashville, all I have to do is work. I don't play golf in Nashville ever. Like I might go putt some balls at dark, if I get bored. But when I'm in Nashville, I actually get to go to work, and I don't look at a clock. A clock's irrelevant as long as I get enough sleep to feel good. So I'll drive in, I'll start planning my week Thursday, Friday, Saturday, setting up my one-on-one meetings, setting up my dinners, who I'm taking to get a coffee or breakfast or something with the following week. And if you haven't reached out to me or anything by Sunday at 3 o'clock, like you're not getting on my schedule for the next week. And that's just how it gets locked in. So I drive into Nashville on Monday mornings, go to my office. I work in Nashville Monday. I always have a new guy dinner, not the day one new guy, but like week two, week three. I'll take that guy out on a Monday night. Tuesday after the office, I drive back to Kentucky, spend the afternoon with the evening with my wife, and then Wednesday morning I wake up and drive back to Nashville, and I stay here Wednesday night, take out two or three of my core leaders, grab some tacos or something, cook at my place. Thursday night we have team night, and then Friday after the office I typically drive back up to Kentucky. But like while I'm here though, it's just different, I guess, because I don't have my wife at home at 6 o'clock when she gets off work that wants to go and do something like between 4:40 right now and 8:30 when I go to team night. Like I have nothing else to do you know if I'm going to sit around. I've been on territory calls, looking at territory, looking at markets where we can make some room, stuff like that. But my thing with the Salesforce and the tool, and it's very embarrassing, but we switched out of Salesforce and started using Click or whatever. And I'm like, I have no clue how to work it at all, like not even a little bit. So I've been on calls every single day for an hour trying to learn how to even work this fucking tool because I can't get it to work right. So I haven't been nerding out looking at reports because I can't figure out how to load the damn things. It's a soft subject right now, Jamie. Thank you. But
Yeah.
I just think like the way I prioritize my time, man, and that's what I talk about a lot to most people is like there's a difference between goals and priorities. Goals are like visions and thinking about the future and what type of lifestyle you want to live and what type of activities you want to be able to go and do and the freedom and responsibilities in your life. And those are big goals and great visions to think about, but like priorities are what you need to get done this week, next month, 3 months from now. And, you know, I always talk about my priorities are to run a powerhouse office and promote strong deals. And for me to have that priority in the front of my mind, I have to be using my time very intentionally. So when I'm in Nashville, I use every single evening to do something to build a better relationship with my guys or to spend time and educate those guys. And I get Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night to do that. A lot of times on Saturday after the field, I'll have one or two, maybe three or four of my guys come up to come up to Kentucky and stay the night just because my wife's cool. We got a big house, nothing to do. Like they'll come up there and I'll take them out and do some experiences that they've probably never been able to do because they're all from big cities and they don't know what it's like to go out in the country and shoot guns and ride four wheelers or go to the lake and whatever. So um, once a month or so, I probably have four or five guys come up on a Saturday to spend Saturday with them. But yeah, I mean, I think I still have a lot of holes in my game when it comes to the recruiting side of our business. I've never been good at the quantity of people that I bring in ever, but I'm really good at taking the quality people and getting them to buy into myself and our business opportunity.
Hmm.
Makes sense.
That's great. And so when you do your planning, like again, you say you start thinking about it on Thursday. Is it like is Thursday your day to plan, or are you
No,
what's
no,
the
no.
process?
I'm just adding to the agenda Thursday through Sunday. So they know if they want on the schedule the next week, they'll start coming to me on Thursday. And some of them forget and they come on Friday, right? But the longer you wait, the less the agenda has to offer for you, right? So I had a guy that asked me last week, on Saturday, he was like, "Hey, I know it's Saturday afternoon. You mind meeting with me next week, one day after the office?" Right. And the only afternoon or evening that I was going to have available was going to be Wednesday night because I had some guys in town visiting from Indianapolis. So I just told him to come and eat dinner with us. And once we finished, me and him would hang out and chat about whatever. So, but like
Mm.
Thursday afternoon, guys start getting on my schedule for the one on ones on the mornings. I'm in my office every morning. So I have plenty of time to meet with them in the offices. I'm only here at night on Monday and Wednesday night. So they know that if I'm going to hang out with them at night, it's always on Monday or Wednesday or at team night. So I'm
And
just kind of filling in the schedule before Sunday at 3.
what questions are you asking yourself when you do your planning? Like obviously you could have a guy who's, I'm just trying to picture when Cooper was a leader in your office or Cole was a leader. Obviously, those guys were probably front and center. And actually, in Dominican last year, I thought you gave a very insightful strategy in your top players, how you develop those guys versus your next layer of players. So again, I'm just curious your thought process going into your planning or your strategy with that.
Yeah, I've moved. I used to do my core leaders night at night when I stayed here on Tuesdays, but I don't stay here on Tuesdays anymore. So I moved theirs to Tuesday mornings. So, I think that my players I meet with Tuesday mornings usually at 9:45, right when I finish up interviews, and I have about 45 minutes in there for us to meet and talk about standards and who's hitting standards, who's missing it. If they're hitting the standards, what do they need to be working on, interviewing wise? Are they ready to watch them take interviews themselves? We're kind of diagnosing everybody in the office, but we're doing that on Tuesday mornings now.
Mhm.
Um, so I mean, I don't know. I don't reach out to my top people to set up one-on-ones with them. Like if they want my time and my attention, they have to reach out to me. And that's how I don't prioritize my top people for one-on-ones unless they're the first ones reaching out to me. And then obviously they get the pick, right? But like I told a couple of really good people in my office last week. I was like, when was the last time you reached out to me and said, "Hey, let's go grab a beer. I want to talk about this and this, program." Or let's go grab a coffee and talk. Or when can I sit down with you and pick your brain on interviewing or training or sales or anything? When was the last time you did that? And they were like, never. I was like, if you want my time and my attention, you have to ask me. I'm not going to go ask you. It's not how this works, right? But if you ask me, I will fit you in and I will get you what you need, and more. So, um, sometimes the top guys think that they know way more than they do. And then I'll throw them a curveball, and have them do something that they hadn't asked me to learn yet, or they know is a responsibility that my assistant managers or, the top guys in the program do. And then they start asking questions again, you
Hmm.
know?
Got it.
Yeah.
Um, is that the same with your owners?
Jamie, when I open up my offices, I don't visit them until they have 12 or 13 leaders in their office because there's nothing I can teach them. There's nothing I can teach them until they have 12 guys in their office. Like nothing, you know? Like I can't teach them how to build a team again. They already know how to do it. They already know how to recruit. They know how to train. They know how to do sales. They know how to run a small business of 10 people because they've done it in my office because I make them, I empower them. I don't do anything when I have junior partners. They do it all and I just watch. And I don't promote them till they're ready. And by the time they get there, they're ready. I always make sure their crews are strong. Like I've learned my lesson there. They got to have independent, self thinking salespeople that can train and interview. They don't open up with shit. You open your guys up with shit, they're going to be shitty. You open them up with five solid people, not your five best people, but five B plus players. They're going to be pretty damn good. But there's nothing I can do. It's a waste of time, money, resources to go visit an outside deal before they have the assistant manager team that they had to build in my program, you know? And then after they get to 10 or 12, then I can teach them, I think, the secondary skills of getting to 15, 20, 25 guys in their offices. So like I visited Cooper's office 3 times in 2.5, 3 years. When did he open? 22, February of 22. So in 2.5 years, I visited his office 3 times. I visited his office pretty much a month and a half before he promotes his next deal. Because I go to double check the moving crew, you know, and double check the people that he has staying back in his deal and make sure that he's doing it right, and Cole's office, I've been to Cole's office literally 4 times since October of 2020. Now, I talk to Cole and Cooper almost every day, if not every day, if not 3, 4 times a day. I talk to them every day. And if not every day, it's every other day for sure, right? Like, very rarely do I go days without talking to my first gen deals at all. But it's in, I have an hour and a half car ride in the mornings, and every other afternoon I have an hour and a half car ride home in the afternoon, so I can pick their brain for a little bit while I'm on the phone with them. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just told the guys, it was like, there's no point in me ever coming to your office. All you're going to feel is micromanaged when I show up and you got 9 guys, and it's 7 of the 9 guys you took from my office 5 months after you moved. It's not, it's not the business. It's not your recruiting that's already set up. It's what you're doing with your time, and you're not doing the same thing with your time as you were as a junior partner in my office with 12 or 13 guys on your team, you know?
Mm, mm,
But then once they get to 10, 12 guys on their team in their office, 13 guys on their team in their office, then there is a lot of things you can teach a rookie deal going from 12 to 25, and how they spend their time then with their core guys. But realistically, I just tell them, think about me the whole time you were in my office. What did I do? When you have 12 guys, that's what you start doing now.
mm,
But until then, you're just the sales rep in your business. You're just a,
mm,
a leader. You're just the manager that develops them.
mm. And if you had to pick like the most important priorities, right? I like what you're saying here on, priority management, and obviously you're pretty skilled at it at this stage in your career. But, what do you believe your rookie owners that are pushing to get to that 12, 13? I want to get a visit from Justin. Like, what are the 3, 4, 5, whatever the number is, things that they really should be prioritizing to get to that next stage?
Yeah. Well, I think it's as simple as our business has ever been. Like, they have to lead from the front doing sales and doing what they are capable of doing, not enough to get by. Like, owners get to ownership and they just do enough to get by as rookies. And it's so fucking mind-boggling to me that they're now putting, twice the money in their business as they were as a rep, but they'll do half the work and make the same, right? It just blows my mind. Like, if you have the potential to put up a $2,000 rep commission check, you should go do that until you have 12 guys. You shouldn't just go do 1,000 because you only need 1,000 to pay your rent at home and your car payment. Like, that's just you not living up to your potential. And then when you don't live up to your potential, no one else around you will even touch close to their potential, right? So, like, it's regardless of the money that they can make as rookies in the field, but they have to like lead from the front with their best effort and their fullest potential, because that's what people chase, is their own potentials, and their own efforts. So, like, lead from the front. I tell them, no one that moves with you, like, you don't owe anybody anything when you open an office, but you do have to come through for people if they deserve it. Right. So if they're earning second round interviews because they're hitting standards and hitting your quota or your quality bonus to get an interview, then you have to provide the opportunity, and you have to provide them with interviews. You might have to get into your office 30 minutes earlier and do more, first round or second round or whatever interviews you call that round nowadays. But you might have to do more work to provide that opportunity. But you don't owe anybody anything. Everything's earned and everything's deserved. And when they do earn it and they do deserve it, you got to give it to them. But if they're not, then you have to take the second round interviews. Just like if you had a team of 5 people in my office and your 4 first gens weren't earning second round interviews, do you think I'm going to give it to them? No, you're going to give it to, I'm going to give it to you. So, like, you take it until they earn it and they deserve it. And if you just, like, simple math, like, give it to the right person. If there isn't a right person, you take it. And if there's not a right person around you, that doesn't happen in my org now. But if there's not a right person around you, it's because of what kind of example you've been as a leader thus far.
Hmm. I'm sure you fielded this train of thought before, like, hey, I'm an owner now, and like, none of my guys were gonna want my position if I'm in the field all the time. Of course I'm skilled and I could do $2,000 in rep stroke, but I gotta kind of take my foot off the gas to kind of show a little bit of
Bullshit.
a better lifestyle.
Show them the number. You're a brand new business owner, Jamie. People are 37 when they open their first company. Why are people in America 37 before they become an entrepreneur and a business owner? Because they're tired of 15 years of working for somebody else finally becomes enough. Fuck that. When I'm 25 and I open my own business, I should be out working. I should be out selling. I should be doing the work, all the work.
Mm.
You know, like that's just this bullshit mentality of, oh, you work your ass off to get to management. Now you don't have to go to the field anymore. Fuck that. That's a failure recipe. Like you want to run a business, you want to recruit the sharpest talent, then do the fucking work. Like get out and do the work until you don't have to. And when you don't have to, it's 12 or 13 guys that are doing the work for you. Then you
Yeah.
build from that, you know?
Yeah.
But I think too many people, it's the truth. Too many people take their foot off the gas long before they deserve it. You don't deserve to not work when you get to a business, ownership position, managing your company. You don't deserve not to work then. That's when you work to build the great machine. Danny G is the best example of building an office that this SigCore company has ever seen, will probably ever see the rest of our lives and careers. You want to learn how to get promoted consultant in 2 fucking years? Don't talk to me, talk to Danny G. And what you'll see is he is a machine, a working absolute machine, right? And eventually Danny is going to be able to take his foot off the gas and never have to do a thing. Eventually. But he knows it's not now either, right? And too many guys just get a taste. Like, I don't fucking know, man. What do you want to do all afternoon? I'm sure people have
Mm.
children that they want to pick up at 5 o'clock. All right, don't be a business owner then. Fuck. It's a partnership, you know? Like, don't be a business owner because it demands more of your time than an employee does. So, cool. Pick them up, take them home, then go back to the field. Like, fuck, I had a guy that works for me, and it was his kid's first t-ball game, and he is the father of 3 children. His wife has chosen not to work because he's been making good money, and he asked me if he could take the whole day off to go to his kid's t-ball game when he had earned $1,000 that week. I said, absolutely not. You could take an hour off to go to his t-ball game, then you get back to work. Why? Because if I let you do that, I'm going to let you fail because you're not going to succeed when you're a single earning family. It's not going to happen. You have to do double the work because the other person's not working. You know, like if my wife really didn't want to work, I would work twice as hard. I would go back to the fucking field and make a double income, or I don't need it. I'd just go back and do it if she really didn't want to work. But I don't know, man. It's all in perspective. I don't think we take owning our own business is serious enough, and it gives a lot of people a bad name for it.
Mm.
But no one will ever wreck you for being a hard worker.
Mm.
No one will ever write bad reviews because you're a hard worker. No one will ever go on and slander your name when you're a hard worker and you do right by people. They'll slander your name in your business when you're a lazy fuck. And when you don't do what you say they're coming in to learn from or to do, you know? So sorry about my get a little
Well said, Justin. I like that. That's a good perspective. The average entrepreneur becomes an entrepreneur at 37.
37 years old.
Huh. Interesting.
And the way I think about it is they go work at 22 and it takes 15 years for them to do the 5 things that forces people to be entrepreneur. Learn the skills, the value in the skills, how to make the money, learn how to run the business. And then the last piece is they just get sick of working for somebody else.
Hmm.
That's what forces people into being business owners and coming up and doing it. And then what happens at 37? You think they just start their business, work 3 or 4 hours a day, and then go home? No, they work 15 hours a day then. We could just get ahead of the curve, and the value you provide, you can do through other people here. It doesn't have to just be yourself and your time. But for a time period, it's only yourself and your time, and that time period will vary based off of how many guys around you have that are good leaders that can run the business.
Mhm. That's fantastic, Justin. I
Yeah.
had a series of other questions, but I'm going to defer those for some other time. I think you've given us the gold that we're looking for on this
What time
call.
is it in California?
It's 3 p.m. It's almost time for my massage. I'm just messing with you,
Is
Justin.
everybody on here owners, rookie owners,
Oh,
mixture,
sure. Several rookie owners here.
rookie owners? Who's the rookies?
Yeah, I think Jake, he's on my top right. I'm not
Pollock,
sure.
Jasmine, Jasmine. Welcome to the fun part. What else is everybody on? B2B, res, retail,
All the above.
everything. What a mix. That's great.
Any
I'll be
rookie want
honest.
to
I'm gonna tell
take
you
it?
this too, right? Just for the rookies. And you might have a different policy or expectation in your org, Jamie. I never sat in the office on a rookie day when it was an org call day, client call meeting days. I like, dude, I know how to build a business. I know how to build a team. I know how to do money in the field revenue. I just said I'm going to go to work. And when I stop working, then you can start requiring me to be on my Zoom call, listening to people like me ramble, you know? Like if you know how to do the work, get out and do the work. Don't ever sit at that desk. Those desks are quicksand.
Hmm.
Anyways,
Hmm.
sorry I was late, man. Like I
For
said,
years, I had a post-it note on my computer that said, "What are you doing to add revenue to your company right now?" Again, sitting at a desk, like you're not adding revenue sitting at a desk. So if you're not recruiting or training somebody or selling, like you're really not being what a CEO should be for his or her company. Their
here's a
revenue
big piece of
generator.
advice for rookies, man. Our emails blow up constantly. There's always emails. Your email box is full, your text box is full. Here's something that I literally forgot I used to do. Started doing it here recently. Jamie, you might notice it in my texts or my emails. My text messages, I always look at the name because if it's one of my sales reps, I know they probably need me right then. My emails can wait. Like they can wait, and I check them 3 times a day. Check them in the morning before I start my day. I check them at lunch and I check them at night. Like the worst thing you ever do is sit around checking your email every time you get a notification, then have to stop and respond for 5 minutes when you can do 30 minutes of it every night, 30
Mm.
minutes every morning, 30 minutes of it at lunch, you know? And I liked how, who was it? I think Irby popped on. He had his polo on in a store or something. Good for you, Irby. I like that. Jamie, I'm going to be in California the 16th.
September 16th, like right before the PO meeting.
Yeah.
Well, great.
I think you
Where
should
you
come
gonna
play
be?
golf with me and Gary and Cole.
Brentwood.
Playing at Gary's. Yeah.
Oh, I'll hit Gary up and say, hey, I got invited by Justin.
He told me to find somebody, and then I thought about you
Oh,
before this call.
well, I'd love to. Last time I golfed with Gary, I totally embarrassed myself on his golf course, so I kind of owe him a redo.
That's funny. All right, good deal. Well, good chatting. See y'all later.
All right, see you guys. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks, Justin.